Today we're here to talk about fighting the court system like we're fighting each other. Like, why can't people in prison fight the court system or the system period the way that you fight each other in prison? The inmates. Let's talk about that.
Okay, well, first you got to understand, what are you fighting? What is your cause?
That's what I want to know. What factors, what reasons would inmates fight each other? Now, some that I know, I've never been to prison, but I do feel like it's a gang related. That is probably a factor of it, or what hood you from, what area you from. If there's already some type of beef there, but what other things that we don't know for people that's never been to prison or know anyone that's been to prison? Why would inmates, fight each other?
All right. Thing is this: I have a homeboy named Earl.
Mm-hmm.
Earl really fight the state of California system.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the feds. I never been to the state.
Okay.
The state is more local. Federal is all around the United States, even other people from Canada, all over in the federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
I did time in the federal prison, so a lot of things that you do in the federal system is a little different because everybody is into some kind of organization or some kind of clique. See, and one thing about a clique is it's all for protection. So when you in federal prison, it's not about having guns. The COs don't have guns in there, so it's more mental. It's not physical like in the state. So when you have a problem in the federal system, you deal with a thing called hands-off policy. You don't put your hands on somebody because you can always talk to somebody that's over them, or a shot caller, or a representative, or something like that. So when you're dealing with the federal prison, you got to be real smart. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to be able to get up out of there.
Okay. And so when you said that cliques and organizations, what's the difference from a clique and organization? Like, give me an example of an organization. What's the difference?
Well, organization is more like what the federal government have labeled them as organization. They are known organization. You have the ones that the feds actually call disruptive group members, where you have leaders. A clique is just a small organization where or people get together that can talk to their race. There's a lot of race things going on in prison. So if you're from a clique and you're not real established in the federal system, then that's a clique.
So let me ask you this. Do you think something that enhances the beef could be the fact that for the people in prison that have life sentences that really have no, or have been told that they have no possibility or chance of parole, and they think that they're there for life, do you think those people kind of feel like, well, F it anyway, because this is where I'm going to die, so let me move how I want to move, let me do what I want to do?
Well, with me, I didn't let a lot of small stuff bother me, because at the end of the day, I was trying to get out. I was trying to get to my family. I was trying to educate myself, to fight the government. I stayed in the library a lot. I stayed in the chapel a lot, and I stayed away from guys that I knew was troublemakers. Now, if you see guys that's troublemakers, that's always in the hole, always starting little beefs over cigarettes, areas, what you call them guys when they be, they don't want you sitting at the tables, they territorial. You have a lot of territorial things going on in federal prison that you don't have in other prisons. But you know what I'm saying? That's federal prison, and it's some kind of like a code. It's like a code. It's not written down, but at the same time, you got to follow the rules, and you can't be out of bounds.
So you saying, okay, I get you saying, you just had it in your mind, you're trying to get back to your family, but has that always been your mindset, knowing, like, I'm talking day one when you were sentenced and told, hey, you're getting life? Were you that positive from day one, or did you have to build yourself up to have this thought of, hey, I know no matter what they say, I know eventually one day I'm going to get out? You never had a moment of just like feeling like, I give up, this is. Do you think you ever had that?
Well, I can't speak for nobody else. I'm speaking for me.
Right, I'm asking you.
See, when you're young, you really don't know the actual sentence, because when somebody on the street would tell you, "I'm gonna kill you," right? How you gonna respond? If somebody tell me I'm gonna kill you and they say I'll be back, I'm not gonna let you come back.
Right.
Because you might come back and kill me. And just like when I got the life sentences, with a life sentence. It was S on it too. They told me I had license. I had pretty much been prepared because they do a thing called a PSI. When they do a pre-SI, pre-sentence report investigation, they actually let you know, say, okay, you looking at this before you even go to trial. So when you go to trial, then you lose, then they say, okay, this is what you looking at.
Okay.
Now, if you looking at this and you know you've been looking at this, a lot of people don't fight them because they know they're looking at that. But with me, I'm like, okay, you don't have nothing on me. That's one thing about the federal prison. State prison, the evidence they use in the state, they can't use in the feds because the state, you can't use conspiracy like that. But in the feds, all you need is a guy say he sold you drugs or he used to work for you.
And it's
conspiracy.
Wow.
And you're gonna get your head busted, and they gonna come in there with that jury, that all white jury, one black or two blacks, and they gonna crush you.
So, okay, I know you probably spoke on this a million times, but just for the people who don't know, when did you first go to prison? What year?
I went to prison in 1991.
1991.
September 18th, 1991. I was indicted, and I was sent to Denver first.
Okay.
Then, after that case was dropped because they didn't have enough evidence, they brought me to Fort Worth, and I went to trial in Fort Worth.
And that was the same year, 91?
Yep.
Okay. And then
8 months later.
8 months later, and then you were in prison for 30.
Well, they had a thing called speedy trial. You have 180 days. They take you to trial, and then if they violate that, sometimes it's a little ticky-tack, but they take you to trial and they find you guilty.
Okay. So how many years did you serve?
I served 33.
And then in that 33 years, do you know how many facilities you went to?
Yeah, I went to 6 penitentiaries, and I went to 2 mediums.
So
6 USPs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at any point, like when you were moving, what did that make you feel like? Did it feel like you're getting closer to freedom, or did you just feel like did it ever come to the point where this is just routine, like you already knew the system and knew this is how it worked? Like what would make you move facilities? That's something I don't know. Like why are you switching?
Well, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because I moved facilities because I was young and I didn't give a damn, and I was way away from home because I started off in Terry Hut. But a lot of people don't know that the elections, the president's elections, have a lot to do with us. Because we watching these elections and our parents is voting for these presidents, and we are saying who gonna win, who gonna lose, because the people that's running for president, they saying stuff about prison system. Because the majority of people in prison, you have 1 million black men in prison in the United States. And if you have 1 million black men in prison in the United States, they have mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters. So each person in jail have 8 or 9 people that support them. That's 8, 9 million people that's going to vote because you say that this president is going to change the laws.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. We sat there and watched Bill Clinton, Bush's, Obama, all of these presidents run lying, saying they was going to change certain laws, and they didn't.
I was just gonna ask, did any president while you were in prison change anything that affected you?
Clinton did and made it worse. He did a 94 crime bill, which made him and Joe Biden, that made it worse on the inmates.
What was the bill?
It was called an anti-terrorist bill.
Wow. So, okay, we're here to talk about fighting a system, which we just heard a little bit of, these laws being passed with politicians didn't affect prisoners in any kind of good way.
Okay, let's just say, for instance, how could you fight the biggest bully on your street? Just say, for instance, you go to school every day.
Okay.
And you have a girl that's been bullying you since the elementary school. Now y'all in junior high school. She been bullying you all these years. How you gonna fight her? What tactics is you gonna use to fight this big bully girl? And that's how the government is. They the biggest thugs in the world, in the United States, and they all come down on you. So how is you gonna fight them with no law degree? It take a lawyer 6 years to go to get a bachelor's or whatever. Then it take him another 6, 7 years to go to law school to become a lawyer. And if a lawyer take him 12 years to become a lawyer, how is it gonna take you a year to learn how to do law and beat the government?
Exactly.
It's impossible.
So I'll say that with that scenario, tell me if I'm wrong, getting bullied, been bullied by this person, still probably bigger than you moved to junior high school, most people probably not gonna fight it. Try to avoid it. And is that the same? Do you see that in prison? Like, do a lot of people in prison try to fight their sentence or fight getting out, or they just say, F it, it is what it is?
Well, after you run out of money, then you say, okay, I seen the government spend $40-50 million just to give you a year. Because they don't want to make the money.
Right.
How you going to fight somebody that make the currency that you spend?
Yeah.
How you going to fight a bully in their system?
Mm.
It's the bully system. And then the bully got friends that's watching them mess with you, beat you up. So when the government start targeting your community, then you see that the laws is not racist. It's the way they target your community, because they didn't target no other community for crack but our community. Now they got this fentanyl. Fentanyl is killing people at an enormous rate, but you don't see them going to jail. The housing crisis, they didn't go to jail. The only people they really worried about going to jail is blacks. That's why you have 1 million people, black men incarcerated in the United States, and combine all other races and take 1 million. So it's 2 million and something, but it's 1 million of us by ourselves, and they make $100 a day on each one of us, which is $100 million a day. That's bigger than any corporation in America.
Wow. So what would you say is the smartest, most efficient way to start the process of fighting the system? Where would you start? If you were back in prison, you get a life sentence, or even you get the death penalty or whatever, where would you start? Like, just this from your standpoint, where would you start if you want to start fighting that?
Not being born.
Well, we can't control that, okay? We here now.
Well, it's pretty much like that. If I wasn't born, I wouldn't have went to prison. I wouldn't have been here. But at the same time, that's the kind of logic you got to use at the same time. Or you tell dudes, because what was his name? The President Reagan, his wife was saying, "Say no to drugs."
Right.
You know, and now we have the strongest drug laws in America, the strongest sentences and everything. I can just say, man, I just don't believe deep down in my heart that these black guys is out here selling drugs after they seen what happened to us.
Right.
From all the way from 87 to now, we've been getting our heads busted with these drug laws.
Are you talking about
85%.
what's happening as far as getting prison time, or how it's affecting people physically? Or
everything. Both? Now you have mental ill people. When we was in jail, it was a crime. Fentanyl, it's just mental. It's, we gotta get them treatment. But they didn't want to give us no treatment, and a lot of my friends. Now it's affecting their people.
So now
it's mental.
Wow.
And now they need help. Now they need
So you think that's why the drug laws came about, because now it's affecting more than black people?
Well, no, they ain't changing nothing. They just giving us more time. I ain't met no white folks yet with 20 years for fentanyl.
You right.
I ain't met nobody. When I was leaving prison, I met black dudes, fentanyl, 20 years maximum, 30 years maximum. But I ain't met white folks in jail yet for fentanyl.
So when you were in there were not a lot of white people in jail for that amount of time for fentanyl. What were they in there for? Or was it even any of them in there?
Well, they was in there because they was career criminals. They have been in prison all their life, you know what I'm saying? And they started off young. They had addiction. I can't say a lot of them had addictions, but the average black man, he in jail for trying to get some money.
Right.
He wasn't in there for drug abuse. He was in there for drug sales.
Wow. So why are y'all fighting each other? What can happen to make people stop fighting each other in there and fight towards the system together? Like what can change that?
I really think that it's going to take something that's real. I think COVID couldn't even stop it. COVID,
Definitely.
you didn't have time to shoot each other when COVID came out, because guess what? Wasn't nobody outside.
Right.
Wasn't nobody running around here banging. How could you bang and your mom in there with COVID? You can't even go in the room with your mom. They put up all these hospitals and these treatment centers, and it still wasn't enough. And you mean to tell me you have time to think of somebody else saying a disrespectful word about your hood and you can't even get the medicine. You know what they gave us in federal prison for COVID?
What?
Ibuprofen.
Are you serious?
If you,
I had COVID. That's not gonna help.
You better ask somebody.
Yeah.
I had COVID.
See, one
in
thing about
2022.
federal prison, you can go to the store anytime and buy cold medicine, something like that, because they know that you need that stuff. But in prison, I ain't see nobody gang banging in COVID because we was all locked down.
Were there any people you saw pass away from COVID in prison?
Yes, I sure did.
A lot.
I seen a guy named Smiley out of Chicago. I didn't even know it was him. When they brought him downstairs, he was blue. You remember?
Are you serious?
What?
So they didn't give him anything then. They just kind of let him deteriorate, it sounds like.
But when you in those cells 24 hours a day, we was in the cells 24 hours a day.
Wow.
And you catch anything in there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that the guards was bringing it in because them the only ones was going to the street. When I used to watch Walking Dead, I used to be like, how could all this affect all of those people like that? And that stuff spread like that. Walking Dead, I think they made that movie because they knew COVID was coming, because when you look at Walking Dead, that's how it was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Walking Dead. They come by your cell and open up your trap, give you your food and everything. They ain't letting you out and all that. If you, they test you, then they take you out and you don't see people no more. You be
Wow.
like, man, what happened to him? Man, I heard he was in the hospital. He ain't make it.
I'm just trying to figure out how people in prison are getting COVID and they're already isolated.
Because the guards got to go to home and come back.
Yeah.
It's a difference if they would make the guards stay on the property and didn't leave.
True.
Because they go home, their wives was working, and the kids go to school. They come back with COVID. They give it to the mother. Then the mother give it to the husband. Then the husband bring it in prison.
Wow.
That's how. And then a lot of the inmates got to work around certain police officers because they work in the kitchen. They discipline the food, and they talking to the police, and the police talking to them, and it's airborne. So you couldn't see it. It was airborne, and you talking to the police. Next thing you know, it get in your mouth or your lung. You go back to the cell. You talking to your cell. Next thing you know, you spread it to them. Next thing you know, people got it in the prison.
When COVID was around, when it first came out, 2020, 2021, were y'all required to wear masks in prison?
Well, actually, I think I had COVID before I knew it was COVID. Because we was sick. And we was, it ain't nothing but a cold, because when you have something like that, you just think it's common. Oh, it's flu season, it's common cold, common this, and you get well, everything. Next you know, the whole prison get it, because we using the phones, we using computers, we touching the knobs and all that, eating out the same cup, drinking out the same cups, eating out the same spoons and all that. When it start, when one or two people get it, okay, they take them away. When you got 30, 40 people falling out on the compound, then you say, man, them dudes got COVID.
Yeah.
Now it's a name for it. Now they finna try to come out with these masks and all that. But you gotta understand, when you put a herd of animals together, when one animal get it, all of them gonna get it. That's how they had us in prison. You can isolate us, but at the same time, we still talking to each other. We in the cell with each other. Then this person get it. And a lot of them dudes was going home. See, when you in there with a guy that got COVID, you get COVID. They let you go home. Then you take it and give it to your family, whatever. Yeah, and you get to do everything like that's how it spreads back to the community or whatever they was doing, because you have a different kind of COVID that was in prison than was on the street.
Okay.
Because it was just crazy, man. Then they come out with different names. Then dudes start taking them shots. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. The shot
How you
didn't
gonna
work.
take a shot from the government?
They forced you out here to take the shot, especially if you work. I took it didn't control it. I took it and actually caught COVID after I took it.
I never had it.
I had it January 2022. So, did it make a difference on how people was moving in prison when everybody getting sick like that? Did it calm things down a little bit?
Well, you locked down. How you gonna? You can't do nothing. You locked down 24 hours a day. What you gonna do? Beat the door down and get up out of there? Man, no, man. They give you that ibuprofen, and that's just for pain.
Wow.
And I kept working out. I worked out 5 days a week. I drank a bunch of water. Already had a bunch of tea, because I usually drink tea every day, and I kept drinking tea. I had cold setups. I had cough drops. I had all that stuff, and I just kept working out. I mean, spitting, doing all kind of stuff, because that's how I didn't get it. But my cellie had it. One of my cellies had it, and I didn't get it.
Thank God, because that's too close. So let me ask both y'all this. Y'all think COVID was man-made? You know that's always been a big topic. Y'all kind of quiet.
All I know, only thing I know was man-made was a life sentence. That's man-made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's man-made. I sat there and watched that COVID. And you know what's so funny is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sat there for 30-some years, and after I get my sentence off, then this hell of a disease come out.
Yeah, that's messed
And
up.
I'm saying, Lord, I know down in my heart that you didn't bring me all this way to let me die of a punk COVID.
Yeah.
Or a punk flu or something like that, because it just seemed like, I remember sometime I be in the cell and I got the life off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like I was getting attacked by inmates. Now I'm not talking about just really attack. I'm just talking about like dudes say certain stuff that I don't like, and it just like the devil always worked out of time, the devil workshop. And it just seemed like sometimes I would give a certain cough and I'd be like, oh man, that don't feel like one I had a year ago. This one might lead to something else. I might have something else, you know what I'm saying? And they kept wanting to take my blood, and they wanted to, oh man, you got a little high blood pressure. Oh, black people got high blood pressure. And I'm just saying, man, I'm just like everything started happening. When I had that life sentence, I did Tylenol, ibuprofen for 30 years.
Yeah.
Soon as I get the life off, now I got my toothache. I got an ache right here. I got a bump right here. And I'm just like, Lord, I know it, Lord, I know you ain't tripping with me about this stuff. And I did all that time on ibuprofen. Now you want me to take some Asuderol or some Buterol. I'm like, hold on, man.
Ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I feel some stuff, man. I'm like, why you didn't give me that 10 years ago when getting done? Then I had a fight right before I got out. And it's just crazy, man, how all that time wasn't nothing wrong with me. As soon as I get the date, all this stuff happened.
That's how life works, Things to be going good until something better about to happen, and then everything falls apart.
Yeah, but you ain't free till you get outside this gate. Like me and my man, we out.
Are we
now.
free now?
From prison? Yeah. You ever been in jail inside of a jail? Could you imagine that?
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
You on the street, you free, but you still in jail because you have to pay all your bills.
Exactly.
But in prison, you in jail, inside of a jail, and then you in a gang activity, you in another jail.
Yeah, dang.
You ain't gonna never be free from something, from sin, bondage, marriage, whatever it is, relationships. You still have some kind of enacting with being locked up.
Absolutely.
Or tied up to something.
So you told me something. I want to talk about this because before you knew that you were going to make parole, you get sentenced life. That means your whole life is going to be spent behind these bars.
They don't have parole in the feds.
So what is it?
It's just you either we gonna supervise release. We don't have parole, so you don't go to no board. They just you either don't get it or you do.
So before finding out you were gonna be free, before you even thought of that or it became a thing, hey, you may have a chance to get out, right? When you just think you're just doing life in prison. When you saw that, I know you said once you saw that your paperwork said deceased. How did that make you feel?
Well, it said deceased for 30 years.
So it said from the moment you get in any paperwork deceased, it automatically says that?
It said, yeah, you ain't no date on it. It say
Gives you a sentence.
Date, none.
Yep.
That's what it say. And then sometimes
because you're not expected to get out, get released.
It's no date. When you just say for instance they gave me 100 years, it would be the date I come in plus 100 years.
Right.
But you know you got 100 years to do, so it's a date on there. When you have a life sentence, it's no date.
Right, because you're not expected to get out.
It say none. It just say none.
But where does it say this?
Right on the line where it say the length of sentence.
Oh.
See, it have your end date and your out date or your supervised release date. Just say if I had life in 5. I had life in 5 plus 10 years supervised release after I get out.
Okay.
Now, when they dropped it from life to 5 to 33 and 5, now I got 10 years supervised release. Now you see I have a date of 2024 June plus 10 years supervised release. So actually, I come to jail when I was 27. I did 33 years. I've been on supervised release probation for the last 40-some years. I was in jail longer than I was on the street. So now I'll be 70-some years old when I get off this stuff. Because I'm 59. I'll be in 10 years, 15 years. I got 15 years, but they say 10. I'm 59. Add that, it'd be 69. So you mean to tell me you take a man in jail from 27 and he get off for parole or supervised release when he's 67?
Jeez.
And you talking about a life sentence, you still got a life sentence, but you just on the street. But in Texas, you have a thing called life parole, where you always gonna be on until you die. But feds, they give you a number. Then sometimes you get off sooner, sometimes you get off whatever. But it depends. But you still have that other expiration date after you get out.
Oh my goodness.
So you still in jail.
And there is no way to get that reduced. If they tell you it's 10 after 10 years parole, you got to do the full 10.
It's either 5 or 10. No, you don't have to do the full 10, but you got to do some of it.
Right. Man.
But it's just like this here, right? You got kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a way that you can talk to them and say, look, man, I don't think you be smart and sell drugs. Why don't you go to the Army? Why don't you go? Because I could have went and worked for General Motors for 30 years and been retired. I didn't went to prison, did 30-some years, and I ain't got no retirement. Yeah. Because the streets ain't going nowhere.
But when you were out, the fast money seemed better than General Motors at the time, and that's what get people. Everybody wants something quick. Nobody want to have to work for nothing, especially this generation.
But what is fast money? What is fast money?
Getting $2,000 a day versus working 2 weeks to maybe get $1,500.
Okay, well,
that's fast money to me.
Well,
if you can make it in a day.
What's the difference between me selling drugs and buying expensive purses, or a person that's working on a job that really can't afford to buy expensive purses still buying?
You saying what's the difference from that?
What's the difference?
You're not getting what you want, and you have to work like a slave. People don't want to do that.
You're still a slave to your job, though, because you working and buying this expensive stuff, which really you can't afford, but you buying it anyway.
Yeah, but if you have the money to do it up front versus a person could work a 9 to 5 for 10 years. Let's talk about it in today's time. Right now, in 2024, there are people that have been on their job probably 10 years and probably don't even make $30 an hour.
Okay, you say that.
Even at 25, that's only $1,000 a week before taxes. So that means if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, you're probably bringing home $1,600, $1,700. Most people rent is more than that.
Yeah.
Then you have kids. So the difference is people are going to risk their life to do it. It's not right. I'm not saying it, but I get why people risk their life doing things illegally to make that $2,000 or $3,000 in a day or two versus working and still not even bringing home $2,000 because after taxes, 401k, insurance, all that come out, you're probably bringing home $1,500, $1,600.
Well, I don't mind. That's why drugs is so profitable, because you got to take a risk.
Right, you do.
Now, they got all these guys working on these oil rigs now. They make good money, but 7 8 years down the line, they found out they got cancer because of the oil wells, that oil, that chemicals they use.
Right,
it's killing you anyway.
True. Everything gonna kill you.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're doing all these things, you don't pay attention to that when you're young.
Right, you don't.
I would never thought I would be in prison that long for something. I never got caught selling drugs.
Exactly.
I thought that I was one of the slick guys. See, a lot of people think selling drugs, you got to have people on their back. You better sell those drugs and you dissing. No. These people sell drugs for you or buy drugs, whatever, on their own. Exactly. You don't force them to do it. Exactly. So why would you say that these dudes are drug dealers? I thought I wasn't in the game because I wasn't hands-on no more. I started off hands-on, but then later on I was off because anytime you have a demand, you got to meet the supply with the demand. But at the same time, it's easy money. Like you said, it's easy money. And if you want to get in that, you're gonna risk your life. You're gonna risk somebody telling you because the game has changed.
Right.
When I come into the game, it wasn't like that. But my brothers them told me when I was young, don't you ever tell on nobody, man. And that's what I live by. Now, when you got these other guys out here, they just giving anybody stuff, and they said them when they get caught, they say, I got it from this guy. See, but back in the days, you say you give it from the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is happening to you? Let me ask you this. Like, answer this for real. Okay, we all know don't snitch, don't be a rat, blah, blah, blah. So how do you feel about that in your mind? Like, if you were participating in this, then why did you open up when you get caught? Or is it like, do you really feel like it really ain't no rule? Like, I mean, I know we say, you're not supposed to snitch or whatever, but if you get caught, do you think they have any validity of what they told? Or it's like, no, you were involved just as much as me, take your loss and move on?
They should have. They should have.
That's how you feel too?
Well, I ain't make them take it. You want to shine like the rest of these niggas.
Right.
Hey, you want to shine, then you sold to the undercover, not me.
Exactly.
Now, don't be coming and saying we when at first it was you. Because when you buy your car, you don't put we on it. You put you on it. Then when you get caught, now it's we. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
can't
and
do
you was
that.
involved. If you was doing anything illegal, you took that chance. So
Exactly.
you
But
knew what you
that's
was
why the
doing.
game is so crazy because, we try to prevent giving kids drugs and different things like that. But at the end of the day, you can't tell a grown man what to do. If he don't get it from you, he gonna get it from somebody else.
Facts.
That's why when I was a kid, my mom used to say, "Man, listen, if you want to drink beer, you do it in your room. You don't do it out in public so people can say you're doing it and come back and tell me. You can drink all the beer you want in your room." That's how my mom used to teach me.
And this, you was under 21, I'm assuming at the time.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with beer.
It wasn't.
Nothing wrong with no beer back then. Everybody drunk beer.
Look.
Chew snuff and dip tobacco, all kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, this drug thing, man, it's just so broad. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Then I sat in prison. I seen from where they had. When I got there, it was already dudes in jail for drugs.
Okay.
Cocaine. Then you had rock cocaine. Then they come in with the PCP. Then they come in with the heroin. Then they come in with the meth. Now they coming in with the fentanyl. Now they coming in with the weed. It's just drugs. America's just drugged out. America have a thing for pain. It's just that, why is so many people have pain?
Well, that was gonna be my next question. And I understand in the 70s and when drugs, or I don't know exactly when it hit hard, but I understand not knowing the effect, the aftermath, like early on. Right now, what do you think is still making people even attempt to try a drug?
Pain?
I have a lot of pain.
Yeah, but guess
I'll
what?
just go have some alcohol.
They give you. I remember when I was in surgery one time. They gave me some drugs. I didn't even know what it was. They gave me some morphine. Right. That's to do with the pain. Cause I kept hitting that button. They come give me a shot. But then when I got out of the hospital, I was still wanting that drug. But then they wean you off of it. But at the same time, a lot of people start off with an injury or somebody.
So you're talking about physical pain, not like
Yeah, I
mental
got
pain.
shot. Yeah, I got shot. Yeah.
So that's your take on possibly what's making people try drugs to take away physical pain.
It's a thing of pain. Period.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's a
like
toothache.
Like you were saying earlier, it's mental too.
Yeah.
They do it for mental, health and stuff.
So-
because the government just giving them drugs.
Pharmaceutical
Yeah,
companies.
they giving it to them.
So what was the other coping mechanism before drugs was a thing? Like what are you
Everybody
gonna
smoking weed, trying to escape reality.
use?
See, how you think weed is so popular now? It would have just fell out the sky? No.
Right.
In the 60s, they were smoking weed.
Oh,
LSD, stuff like that. But a lot of people in America want us. This is supposed to be the most richest country in the world. So why does everybody want to escape reality? I don't
Right.
do anything.
Right.
I don't do anything because I'm on parole or supervised release. I don't do anything because, you know why I stopped using drugs for real? I used
Why?
to use drugs. I ain't fall off them
Right. Why you stop?
because I couldn't get enough.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Because if I got to
That's
fill this whole
dangerous.
room up with cocaine and I like cocaine, I'm gonna use it all up. So I'm only mad when I ain't got no more.
Right.
So that's why I stopped.
And then cocaine kind of expensive.
Yeah, but that's why. And then I'm gonna be broke with no cocaine. I'm looking
Right.
stupid, and that's when I didn't want to look stupid.
I can't do it.
That's just like in the federal prison, right? We was on lockdown, right? And coffee is big in prison. Coffee.
Okay.
Coffee is like drugs.
Really?
Yeah, you can sell it.
I'll be winning.
Now,
I love
when you in a cell and you don't have enough supply to last you or the whole lockdown,
Okay.
you in there feeling like a monkey. That's why when I like coffee because
Yeah.
I like to study. It gives me
Do it calm you down or give you?
yeah, it give me studying time. I used to
Oh,
I used to have my homework in my cell, right? Right before I get ready to go into the cell, I go get me some hot water and a cup of coffee, and I sit there for 2 hours, do my homework. Woo,
Yeah.
woo, woo. Now, just imagine I can't get out the cell to get no hot water. We're on lockdown,
Ooh,
and I
you're
run out of
crazy.
coffee.
Oh, my
Now I'm in
God.
there like, hey man, what you got? You got some coffee over there? Man, here you go some stamps. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would make sure I wouldn't run out of coffee because I know how I feel not to have it.
Right, you tweaking.
Yes, that's why you got to have your money right, your commissary right. Now, you might run out. I mean, you might not run out. But
Okay.
the guys that's your partners, they hitting you up slick time. Hey, man, Fish, what you working over there, man? I know you got something, man. I'm like, hey, man, you know, I done gave all my giving out. I got some person, but I never let them know I got a bunch of, because certain coffee I don't like.
Right.
I like Taste of Choice in Colombia.
But do
I
you
don't
like
beat
all
that
that
folk.
cream and sugar? Because
I don't do the sugar. I just do black and cream.
That's me.
Now,
I don't need no
when
sugar.
you run out of coffee and you in the sale, you can't get, ain't no store.
Oh
Because a
my
lot of
God.
times you can't go to the store no more because they punishing you.
This
This ain't COVID. This is on a regular lockdown. Now, coffee go up.
Like in price?
What? Now, when I was in 2000 something, coffee was $1.80 back because it's generic coffee, Colombia. Now coffee is $5 a bag, $6 a bag, and you ain't getting that much. But coffee is a big thing in federal prison because it's addictive. You might not think it is.
$6 for one bag of coffee. How much do one bag last?
It depends how many times you use it.
Couple of days.
Oh my God.
Well, a whole bag, it lasts. I might drink 2 cups a day or somebody. It lasts me a while, but other guys might be worked up to four scoops a day. And they going through it like mad. Then when they can't get no more, then now they looking at you all crazy. Man, you gotta go. Then that's how the price
Was
goes.
sharing a big thing? Did you share? Not just coffee, I'm talking about anything that you could get access to. Or was people more selfish?
Well, you had a lot of people that's selfish in jail. Mostly everybody in jail is selfish.
That's why they
Really?
in jail.
So it wasn't a lot of sharing.
Well, like for him, knowing who I am and me knowing who he is, he can get whatever I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause y'all were just cool like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But sometimes he might buy, he don't even drink it, but he just have it. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna hold this for the homies because certain dudes get there, you wanna give them a little something. Sometimes you be like, man, I'm just gonna hold it for a lockdown. I got 20 bags under my bed. Do you know what 20 bags or 40 bags will bring you when you on lockdown? You talking, man, send that money to my house. Send that
Okay.
500 to the house. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey.
Yeah.
it just
$500.
everybody had their vices and everybody
Yeah.
had their habits and everybody do their thing. And coffee a big thing. And we need to start. You see how Starbucks got?
And it ain't even that good.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I know I used to see all the commercials and everything about the Starbucks, and you know, Starbucks got big, it got famous, it got like, then they got
Real fast.
they got 30,
Yeah,
40
yeah.
other coffee places that's not big as Starbucks.
No,
But
nobody
they
can be
still
big
in
Starbucks.
existence, they still making money, you know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Then you got the you buy the beans raw, it's the same as drugs. You buy the beans raw, cheap, you bring them over here, you process it and everything. Now you sell it. The same thing with drugs. You buy drugs from out of the country. You bring it over here. You put a little something with it, mix it up, and you sell it to the people in the community. It's the same thing. It's still addictive. So I don't see nobody going to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? What if just imagine one day they would say, okay, no more coffee. Coffee is a drug. It's a Title I drug, and if you get caught with it, it's cocaine and coffee pretty much grows the same way.
So I had a debate recently with somebody, and I'm gonna ask y'all, why do you think drugs are considered illegal over alcohol? Well, because we know alcohol, if you're over 21, is legal.
Right.
Because a lot of people are gonna argue that alcohol has the same effect as drugs. Okay, I think it definitely can have a negative effect if you overindulge, but I don't think the full permanent outcome of drinking, it's a difference from being an alcoholic and just having a drink occasionally. I don't think the effect of occasionally drinking gives you the same effect as occasionally doing drugs like cocaine or heroin or whatever. I've never done drugs, so I could be wrong, but that's just my take. Like if you go out and have a drink once every Saturday, I don't think that's gonna affect your life physically or mentally like it would if you did snorted cocaine every Saturday. Now, I might be wrong. I've never done it, but what do you feel about that?
Well, let's just say the cause and effect.
Okay.
What do drinking cause? Drunk driving,
Right.
breaking up families, addiction. It's the same thing as other drugs. It's just that who's controlling it?
But what I'm saying is, let's take
Who's making the most money off of it?
what the government,
Yeah, exactly.
the people who supplying it to where it's being
The
sold.
government get taxes off of it.
Mm-hmm.
They get taxes off of cigarettes. They know cigarettes. They were lying about cigarettes for 40 years.
About what? Wait, lying about it like what?
It wouldn't give you cancer. It wouldn't kill you. They was lying about that.
You know,
wow.
California then outlawed menthols.
Because of black folks. Black folks don't want to really smoke menthol. Unless you're white folks grew up in the community.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't even buy menthol cigarettes in California.
Why you can't buy menthol cigarettes? Why? What do menthol do? Where is menthol at anyway? Where did it come from? What do menthol do?
I don't know because I don't
use
smoke.
menthol. They use menthol for
never smoked a
your
cigarette
lungs.
a day in my life.
They use menthol for your lungs. They use it for medication. But you put it in cigarettes, so when you smoke cigarettes, it affects your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
You put medication on your lungs through a cigarette that burns your lungs. Now since you smoke so much, the cigarette burns your lungs, but you put medicine in the cigarettes to make it not burn your lungs so you can keep smoking.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
Sure, I didn't know that. You just educated me on something.
Well, doctors ain't with doctors, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And nurses ain't with nurses, but at the same time, we talking. And yeah, that's what menthol does. It soothes your lungs for you to keep smoking.
Wow. But
that's
it's still
what
killing you.
Exactly.
It's soothing you temporarily.
That's just like putting. You ever heard of sulfurate?
Yeah.
What is sulfurate?
I don't know.
That's the grease that
I know the grease,
Walker made for your hair. It medicates your scalp to make your hair grow.
But you're about to tell me something.
I'm just gonna say, what if you would put
it has
sulfurate? Yeah, it has menthol in it, so because it soothes your scalp. But what if you put menthol? What if you put sulfurate on your cigarettes and smoke them? That's what they doing. It's the same thing.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am.
It has menthol.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
No,
I'm not smoking.
Okay, good. Now I never smoked a cigarette because I don't know. I've never done drugs. But no, I'm saying back to taking out addiction. I'm saying if you just answer this, if a person had one drink a week and another person, I'm just gonna use cocaine, snorted, I don't know how many lines or whatever, once a week, who's gonna have the worst effect physically after so long? Or is it the same? I don't think one drink, unless you just have a very, very low tolerance, is going to really impact you. Most people cannot get drunk off one drink unless they're just, like I said, like if they have a low tolerance. I'm not necessarily saying that I agree that alcohol should be legal and drugs not, but I don't think alcohol has that much of a effect as drugs do. Of course it will if you're both addicted, but I'm saying having one drink versus doing drugs.
Okay, what do alcohol do to you anyway? What does it do?
I can tell you what it do for me. I'm only speaking for me. I don't smoke, so the way people act over weed, that's the way alcohol. Like if I'm having a stressful day, or if I'm anxious, because sometimes I have anxiety, I can go and have a glass of wine, and I'm just relaxed after that. Then I don't care anymore. Like everything I was thinking about that was on my nerves, I'm relaxed, I'm chilling, and I can go to sleep.
Let me ask you this here. Mm-hmm. What if you didn't drink or smoke and you say, I want to get relaxed, I'm going to take a hot shower, a hot bath. Do that relax you?
It relaxes me in the moment,
I'm
but
just saying,
when I get out, and I can't probably go to sleep.
Okay. Why not?
I don't know. It's just like my nerves.
Okay,
I'm
this what
thinking.
I truly believe in this here.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe if God wanted you to drink, He would have allowed you to drink. Or He would have been put it in. Everything that you need in your body is in there already.
Right.
It's just you. You the one wanna justify saying this is what it does to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it does different stuff to different people.
True.
Some people can't handle just a little bit. Some people, it starts off little, but they have mental and it takes it to another. Now watch this here. I had seen a lawsuit in Las Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saying that when you gamble, when you drink, you get more risky.
Right.
Gambling. But why they give you free drinks though?
So you can blow your money and they can make more money.
That's my point.
Of
That's
course.
the same thing as saying drinking does this for me. Because you have a thing called NA, AA, and GA. You know what that is?
No.
Narcotics Anonymous, Gambling Anonymous,
Alcoholic
Anonymous. You have these anonymous because people don't want you to know that they're doing these things. That's why they call them anonymous.
So not to justify it, but people that do any type of drugs, smoke, cigarettes, whatever, yes, we know you can get that same feeling without doing any of that, but it's gonna take longer. That's the thing.
You think so?
Yeah, people
Okay,
get
well, let
quicker.
me ask you this here. Let me ask you this here. Well, let me ask you. What if I tell you, you drink, right?
Yep.
And I smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm against drinkers and you against smokers.
Right.
We both against each other. That's how it is. If one is no better than the other one.
Right.
But what if you do 2, 3 of them? Then you be like, well, I don't like killers. I don't like people doing this. You always gonna point finger at somebody.
Exactly. I'm necessarily not pointing a finger though. I just, because I don't smoke or do any drugs, I want to understand it.
Right.
So maybe it is the same thing for you, like the same. Maybe the reasons are the same. Like my reasons for drinking.
I seen drugs terrible. I mean, I seen liquor terrible out of family. I don't like being around alcoholics.
Right.
Because they are good people when they drinking. I'd rather for alcoholics to drink, not to drink.
I don't want to be around anyone that's addicted to anything, whether it's alcohol or drugs.
What?
If you can do something to maintain and function, I'm not saying I agree, but cool. But anybody that's addicted, and it don't have to be alcohol or drugs, if you are addicted to, I'm going to say this, sex, I don't want to be around you because that may sometimes bring on predators, right? If you can't control that, so anything that you like, it shouldn't control you and overcome you where you get addicted.
Okay, let's talk about that. What do you think you do when you lock up a man for 30 years that can't get sex?
That can't what?
Can't get sex.
What do I think that they do?
In a state, they allow you to have
Conjugal.
but not in the feds. But
I hope they
when you
learn
lock a
that.
person up like that, because it say man is not built to be alone, right?
Right.
I'm not saying he's going to turn out to be a predator. I'm just saying you depriving a man of what God supposed to gave you natural ability to be with a woman and everything. But this federal system, man, is crazy, man. It's just that you can't do anything.
It's people.
Well, they got access to it, though.
Yeah, you're right. That's the difference.
That's why it sells so much.
Yeah. Okay. That's the difference. But I feel like what you can do if you're in prison, and I don't know the correct answer to this. I've never been in prison. This is just a theory.
You know, when I was about 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I remember when all the internet was blowing up, all these sites and all that. You know what saved the internet?
What?
Pornography. Pornography is 50% of the internet.
That's horrible. That's horrible, but I believe it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But
you can't even do that in there, right?
Yeah.
You don't have access to look at
They
pornography.
got pictures. They got pictures. You can buy pictures off of net websites and stuff.
I mean, I don't
And they
even.
say, I mean, you see dudes with them like this.
So does that help? Because you asked that
Hey,
question.
I don't know why you.
I would try to put you out.
I truly believe this here, though. I truly believe this. I truly believe.
Mm-hmm.
If you seen one, you seen them all. That's just like
What you mean by that?
if you look at one picture, it ain't no other picture's gonna really be able to top that one if it's that dirty.
Right.
So if you seen one, you seen them all. You just saying, okay, her butt big and this and that. It's all of them the same. They show
Right.
the same
Same
material. So when I read a hood book and I see a bunch of them, I don't read them no more because I say they all the same.
thing. Yeah.
That's why I don't really read
Yeah, I
that
stopped
book.
reading.
Yeah, because
What's a hood book? What do you mean by that?
that was a hood book. It's the books that you see that's
I'm really good.
like dope fool or something. You know, like the
Oh, and it could be from someone that.
money sick. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
they
some
talk
crazy
about stuff
stuff.
that's going on in the hood.
And it's all the
Oh,
same
okay.
to me.
Same.
Because everything going on in the hood is not always be the same.
That's my point. That's
So how
why the
much can you
theme
talk
pictures
about
is the
it?
same way.
Right.
When you see one, you seen them all. When you seen this,
Yeah.
now this is everybody making money off
He
every
probably
different
didn't
thing.
read hundreds of them.
No.
No, that's why I would be more interested in something like a documentary because you can understand, even though you kind of went through similar things as somebody else, but I want to hear from your standpoint and what you personally went through. But just a general book about what goes on in the hood, that's going to be uninteresting because the hood is pretty much going to be the same no matter what hood you go to. From Texas to LA to Chicago, the same things go on in the hood. From selling drugs, prostitution, ghetto baby mamas, struggling, lights being off.
Side
like how
chicks.
much? Yeah, side chicks.
Kingpin and side chicks. That's gonna be
Exactly.
my nuts movie.
That's gonna be an interesting one because
Y'all
that's
look out
something
for
that
the
never going away.
drought coming. I got the drought out. Kingpin and side chicks. I'm telling you about
Mm-mm.
One 57.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one right there.
I had a good time today. We got to talk about some other issues, but right now, man, we have a big thing on Puffy, the whole music industry. Well, let me ask you a question.
Ooh, not with Puffy, Lord.
Why is Hollywood so crazy? Let me ask you this here. Name me one white actress that's married to a black man.
One white actress? Oh, well, she wasn't an actress and they're not married anymore, I don't think. But wasn't Heidi Klum? She's a model.
She's not. Everybody, you know what?
So
95% of people ask that question. They say, "Oh, Heidi Klum." No, Heidi.
I know
Klum.
she's a model.
Yeah,
but,
she's not actress.
Okay, a white actress. Yikes, married to. Well, okay, I don't know her name, and they got a divorce, and she did an interview about why they got a divorce. But Taye Diggs is married to a white woman, and she's an actress. I didn't know her, but she just recently did an interview. She said that he got a lot of negative feedback from being with a white woman, and that ruined their relationship. I never even knew he was married to a white woman until I saw her interview.
Yeah.
But what was the point of, like, is it not allowed, or what's the point of that?
It's not allowed, especially in Hollywood. Hollywood is the most.
So why is it allowed for a black man to be with a white woman though?
Yeah, because in Hollywood it says if you want to stay in Hollywood, marry a white man. So you never see a white woman that's an actress that's appeared
With a black man.
They're messing with them.
Oh, of course.
But they're not gonna marry him. That's why when you see, she said, this happened when this happened, and I married, because she got a son by him, Taye Diggs.
Dude, she?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
they
got
have a
boy.
kid. Okay.
Yeah. And she said she got a bunch of feedback because it kind of messed their relationship, because America is still not ready for that. It's only been a few years back when a white woman even had sex on tape with a black man.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it was maybe Larry Fishburne or somebody that actually did that, but it was like in the 70s or something. But it's just not allowed because the black woman can go further than the black man in Hollywood, because once a woman that's of statue and married and to try to go on the other side, they lose their career. You know what I'm saying? It's a different if you marry one and go off.
Right.
But if you marry one and try to stay at the top and be the top paid, they have a way of keeping not you down, but it shows that you. If I would have asked you the question the other way around, you gave me 50 people, especially basketball players. Oh,
I was just gonna say athletes.
Yeah, but I know black women that's married to white men inside of Hollywood, and you wouldn't even think that. Oh, but you never really seen them.
Right.
You be like, oh, she married to a white guy.
Right.
And you be like, but she play a lot of black women roles. Oh,
Yeah,
but she married to a white guy.
The lady from Raising Canaan.
Who you talking
I
about?
forgot her name. No, the mom. She's married to a white man. Lupita is dating a white man in Hollywood.
Now, the other woman you ever seen Love and Basketball?
Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
What's the mama name?
Alfre Woodard.
She's married to a white man.
Is she?
Yes, yeah.
I never knew that. I never knew that. Are you serious?
Goldberg, hold on.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg not anymore. She was.
Whoopi Goldberg's not black. She's Jewish.
Whatever that means.
Yeah,
but
because it's just not allowed. But don't nobody talk about these issues.
so you saying it's not allowed? Well, it's allowed for a black woman to marry a white man. It's not allowed for a white actress or white woman of that stature to be married to a black man.
Name me one.
I tried.
That's my point. Google one.
I tried.
She was messing with one. I remember when everybody used to say, well, you know, Lenny Kravitz was messing with the one, what you call it, got a baby. Yeah, but she didn't marry him.
Exactly. But also, and if we do find it, like, proving your point, if there is a white woman married to a black man, they probably have gotten blackballed or don't have the success that they probably have had they married a
That's
white
my
man.
next movie. Why is no black men, white women, actors married to a black man?
Because they definitely love black men.
Yeah, but they're not gonna marry him.
Especially
Not
with
married.
all the money, the ones that, like you say, is on top.
They ain't gonna do nothing.
I never thought about that. I'm gonna do some research. I'm hoping to find at least one.
See, this is the thing with this podcast we want to do some issues. We want to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Where everybody ain't going or don't want to go, because a lot of things you can't say or do.
I can.
But but if you have money and you do them, you're gonna lose your money. we ain't got no money right now, so we can do it pretty much.
I really, yeah.
So,
it's coming.
you know, yeah. So what do you think?
But when
about,
you get money, you gonna be afraid to speak your mind?
Well, I gotta get it first. But when I do get money, you speak it, then that's when they go after your money.
True.
Everybody that done had a little taste of money that says the wrong thing, they go after their money.
Really?
And I learned that from this guy that I was in prison when I used to think he was always jiving around. He said, yeah, Fish, man, when you get a certain amount of money, you say the wrong thing, they go after your money. I was like, but now I see because of certain guys that they go after their money.
Yeah.
But I just say certain things, so we got to just talk about, some issues where I know for a fact that we trying to make our community a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? We not trying, like you said, we trying to find out why we're not doing this, why we can't get together, and why black people is just so jealous of each other.
That's what I want to know.
Why
do black people not want the next person to get ahead? We gotta talk about that.
I just don't know where that come from. I did a lot of time in the prison, and guys, they be in there and they be like, man, that nigga, he ain't had that much. I'm like, man, you ain't had nothing, dog. You know what I'm saying? I get out of jail, and dudes, I be hearing some stuff, sometimes on the page. Oh man, hey man, why you saying this and this? Nigga, why you ain't doing it?
Exactly.
You always want somebody else to throw rocks for you. You do it.
Yeah. I got a lot to say about that. I can answer a lot of reasons why black people don't want the next black person.
Yeah, I'm finna start this over 50 workout program. Because a lot of us have diabetes, high blood pressure, low blood pressure. We have all these things, and I really want to put a program together just to help a lot of us get off those drugs. Those drugs mess up your kidneys, and I really wanted to start the program called the Gun Show. You see, I got the guns right here. See, when I was in the Fed, my arms way bigger than these. These are 20-inch arms right here. These 20s, but they bought some 9s right now, but I'm gonna work them back up there. But I'm 59, so at the end of the day, I ain't on no medicine. You know what I'm saying? I work out 5 days a week, and we got to get our bodies in shape and different different things. Our mind. I a lot of time I just pray. That God just keep me healthy, man, because, I see a lot of older people, they have a lot of older people going into that older age, but they don't have enough beds, you know what I'm saying? Because every few years, our people getting older and they getting to those stages, and we got to come up with a plan to provide beds for those older patients and have people to take care of them, because my mom is right now, she's pretty much in one of those facilities because she fell, hit her head, and I'm praying for my mom. You know what I'm saying? She in LA, and I hope she can have surgery because the nerve is on the tumor is on the nerve, and making her have seizures, not seizures, but they call it strokes and stuff. And she's so old, and we already want to operate at the same time, man. We need to get that stuff fixed because you don't want nobody having strokes, be bedridden and everything. But I haven't had a chance to go down there and see my mom because I'm still halfway. It's different things like that. But I just hope that I have a son or a daughter that will help me when I get in the old age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's a big thing, because it's kind of hard, to change a grown person, doing them. But at the same time, that's what you call agape love, which is unconditional. Where you can change your mom, take care of her until she passes or whatever. But I just hope that I have a son or a daughter that won't put me in one of them homes. You know what I'm saying? Because them homes is, I just can't see my mom in one for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? Where, black folk, we used to keep our grannies and stuff, our moms and stuff like that when they get old. But it's this young generation. I'm not gonna put it on all them. It's just pretty much how you raise, I guess.
Right.
I wanted to really make sure I don't be put in one of them homes. I'm already,
I'm against it.
Yeah. But some of the other family, they be like, oh, I'm too busy, and, I gotta go to Vegas,
See, we're gonna end it right there because
We gotta
somebody's
gotta
being
drink a
shady.
little bit, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have a little
He's
bit.
being shady.